Jason Chow, I am so excited to have you here again, and this time to be talking specifically about Animoto and helping my listeners and viewers to understand if this is for them. So there's so many different video making tools out there now. We know video is tops. It's funny because you knew video was tops a long time ago before most people did. And thus you birthed with some friends Animoto. And you guys
hmm
have been around for a long time. And I'm excited to get into how you help business owners do marketing and attract more customers and clients with your software. But before we do that, if you can give everybody just a quick overview about the history of Animoto, how it came to be, why it came to be, and all that good stuff. And then where are you today? What are you doing now to help us out?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. It's always great to be with you. And it's a real pleasure. Basically, Animoto, we've been around for about just over 10 years. We've been living, breathing, sleeping, everything having to do with video creation, and especially these days, what makes for successful video on social media. And, when we started, 10 years ago, we just saw how fast everything was changing. I mean, this is like in the days before the iPhone and really before the heydays of social media. But it seemed inevitable that with the rise of, social media and cloud computing and all these social media platforms, that things were going to change soon. My colleagues and I, we are working in the TV industry. I was producing some stuff for MTV and Comedy Central, and my colleague Stevie was at ABC, and we just felt like we had to be a part of all this change. And so when we started, we didn't know exactly how video was going to unfold, but we knew it had to change in some way. And so here we are 10 years later. And it's been super interesting, despite all the different kind of changes and, changes in mobile and different social platforms that have kind of come in and out of vogue. Video has really only grown in importance. And so luckily where we are today is kind of like in a video first world, right? It's like video is everywhere. And where we get to be right now is what we're hearing from businesses is they see video everywhere. They know that people want video, but video is kind of intimidating, and so that's where Animoto comes in. We have basically dedicated our last 10 years to really making video making as simple as possible. Really, literally for anyone who has zero video editing experience, video making experience, just make it drag and drop easy. And on top of that, just making sure that we have done our homework. We know what actually makes for successful video, in marketing use and on social, so that we can help businesses be successful. Because no one wants to waste their time, learning a whole new thing. So we just want to help people cut right to the chase and do what works. So that's where we are today.
Awesome. And you have some pretty big partners as well, right? You've got, or is it an endorsement, or how do we want to
Yeah,
word
we're
that?
official, marketing partners with, everyone from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, HubSpot, LinkedIn, the Small Business Association. So, I think in addition to, I think for us, just the credibility of working with, all these folks, for us, what's been great is just having that ongoing dialogue with all these folks, so that we can share information about what's working, what's not working, and we get to hear from them about what we should expect. And so it's just been awesome to have that direct dialogue and to be able to pass on whatever valuable information we can directly to our community. So yeah, I love working with all those guys. That's been a great part of this this adventure.
Amazing. And you also, you have, you serve entrepreneurs at every level, from just the startup, the person who's a hobbyist even, and just trying to get like a side hustle going, to enterprise companies. How many customers do you guys have these days?
Well, over our history of Animoto, we've served over 1 million different businesses and folks in businesses. But really, it's I think our sweet spot really are those those either those business owners. We call them the do-it-allers, whether it's the business owner or the marketer that just wears so many different hats, and they really just don't have the time or the experience, or even like the big extravagant budgets like these big companies do. That's really who I think who we gravitate around most. And then also marketers or professional marketers or marketing consultants at agencies and firms also tend to use us a lot. But really it's like, for the folks that have no experience but know they want to get into video, that's really what we're all about. And it's for the folks that it's not like this. Video is not like this one time like checklist item on my marketing to-do list, right? It's not like, oh, I have a video, I'm done. These days video, it's like a form of communication, right? It's like we're speaking video with our audience. And so so these are the folks that know they need to be using video regularly, and that's really who we cater towards.
Awesome. And it's 2019 now. We're right at the start as we're recording this. Do you have any predictions about where video is going, or what people should be thinking about or looking for in video over the next 6 to 12 months? Things move so fast. So
yeah, it's super interesting. And it's interesting too, because especially like at the top of the year, everyone's always like top marketing or video predictions and trends, and it's all over the place, and it can be really, really noisy out there. And some of the stuff that people are kind of talking about is trends. Sometimes I cringe a bit because I'm like, yeah, well, that's interesting, but I'm not actually sure businesses should be jumping on that right yet. So I just want to make sure folks listening are like, they're kind of separating, I'll say, new technologies, which are super interesting and great to read about, but not necessarily worth our time and resources yet. Separate that from proven trends, things that are actually working, kind of in a mass adoption type way. So a new technology might be, people love writing about VR and AR, virtual reality and 360 video and augmented reality. Those are super cool, but we're not really quite there yet in terms of it really being something that businesses should fully embrace. If you want to experiment with it, great, but that's not really where the bulk of marketing is happening. But certainly, Facebook, really the kind of the big trends this year, Facebook is still, despite some of the press they're getting about various, they're still they're the biggest social network in the world, and that's where most people are. But Instagram is probably the fastest growing. It's not the biggest, but it's the fastest growing. And YouTube also just continues to be dominant. So if you don't know where to start, or if you're just trying to figure out maybe where else you should be, those three certainly. And anyone obviously who's kind of a B2B type organization, LinkedIn is probably your home. So.
And LinkedIn, you can do video for now.
Yeah,
so
they are investing heavily in video right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if LinkedIn really starts catching up to a lot of the capabilities and tools that Facebook has over the course of this next year.
Awesome. And we'll get more into this in the masterclass. So folks, if you want to learn more from Jason about video strategically and learn so much, I mean, he's at the helm of the information and he speaks all over the world about this. And so we're going to dive deep during a masterclass with Jason on video, but let's jump into Animoto for this resource episode. And do you want to share your screen, and we'll start kind of looking behind the scenes, and you can kind of walk us through it. And we know who it's for, and we know, it's video. Can you tell us some use cases before we start creating something?
Yes. So actually what I'll show you right here is so one of the things that we happen to have, and this kind of gets to the type of videos that we do, is we have a whole collection of starter templates that we call storyboards, right? And so this is actually, I think, one of the best values of Animoto is for folks that either don't know where to start or just need some inspiration. We literally have all sorts of different types of videos that we've poured all our learnings about what makes for successful video into the storyboards. And literally with any of these, you can just open them right up and start dragging and dropping your own content in and making your own. So you can kind of see the type of things that are here. The ones that are featured are like a portfolio of stuff, or a seasonal promotion, or an explainer video. And if you kind of tab across here, you can kind of see other. I will go to view all. But really, if you think about all the different types of videos you see out there on social, whether it's a company overview or a how-to, a product demo, an interview, testimonial, an event recap, an announcement, a blog teaser, a newsletter. These are all the different types of videos that we want to kind of enable you to do. And like I said, with any of these, you can open them right up and make them your own. So even if, for example, some of these you might see are like a certain color or maybe a certain aspect ratio, you can change all of that so you can make it your own. You can put your own colors in, you can use your own fonts to match your brand. You can make sure that your logo is, in the corner of all your videos or at the end of your video. You can make it square or landscape. But for all the things that you need to do to regularly communicate with your audience, hopefully we have something for you. So
awesome. And what about length? Like, are these videos that are just under a minute, or could we create something that's more of like a 5-minute video, or like what are the allowances?
So, I mean, with Animoto, there's not really a limit in how long the video can be, but basically what we're catering towards is what works on social media. And if you think about, most people on social media are more and more, they're on their phones, they're on the go, and they're flying through their feeds. And so these are, for the most part, short videos, like definitely under a minute, a lot, maybe even under 30 seconds. And that's, primarily to cater towards the world of, Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. On YouTube, people are sitting down. On YouTube, people are there to learn something. And so YouTube videos can be a bit longer, maybe up to a few minutes. But I think for most of these, you can expect them to be on the short side, maybe between 20 and 30 seconds.
Great. Thank you.
So everyone just kind of wants to see what Animoto looks like. And this is basically it. So I basically started uploading some kind of sample images from this company, Everlane. So this is kind of where you keep all your stuff. And it's basically based on a drag and drop paradigm where it's like building blocks, right? So I can just start dragging stuff over, right? It's literally this easy, drag and drop. Again, we're catering towards people who have no video experience. So that's it. I basically already have a working video. And like with building blocks, there's literally no way to screw up making a video with Animoto. That's what I love. It's almost like a toy. You can drag these blocks around. You can move anything around. If I want to say insert another block, whether it's text or a video clip or a logo, I'm going to put a logo here and put the logo here, and I can put that in the front or at the end. So it's literally that easy. I could actually hit produce, or I could actually hit preview right now, and in a few seconds, just already start to see what my video is going to look like. So it's that easy. So here's just kind of a
nice. And we can see at the top of the storyboard, it says 21. So it keeps counting the seconds that it's going to show these things for.
Yep. So it's that easy. Now, obviously, there are some things that, if I were Everlane, I would love to make sure that kind of cater a bit more towards, my brand. And this is where we realize this stuff is really valuable for customers. So first of all, there's this background color, which is not very Everlane. So we have a whole bunch of things here. You can, like I said, you can change the aspect ratio, the style, the design. So the first thing I'm going to do that stands out, like that green is definitely not on brand for me. So I'm going to go over to design here. And in just kind of a universal way, I can just change the background. I'm like, maybe gray is kind of cool, but I think I actually want to do white just to kind of keep it looking super clean and nice. I love that. And an accent color, we like using, we'll say blue. So that's already looking better. One of the things I think I want to do here is maybe add some text right up front, so that people know what they're watching here. So maybe I'll add something that says new spring collection, right? And we will make that a color that kind of pops a bit more, so you can kind of go around and pick something that you think is going to work. And the other kind of cool thing is, when I was adding a block, since I have a bunch of images, I want to use a collage and put a few different images in. So maybe I'll choose this 3 up here. I'll put this up here. And instead of having some of those single images, I will put 3 people in a row right here. And I actually kind of think that looks much better. So I'll get rid of a few of these. So you can kind of see it's pretty, I like to say, dummy proof. There's actually no way to create a failed video. And if you want to get into the nuances of like, maybe I don't want to show this one quite so long, like I kind of want it to be just a little bit quicker, I can change the length here. This one, it's still a little bit hard to see this text here. So I'm going to add this thing called legibility, which kind of just gives it a background. I'm like, yeah, that looks awesome. I can make it maybe a little bit bigger. I can actually drag the text anywhere around on the screen. I kind of like it right in the middle, but maybe I want to move this person up just a little bit so her face isn't covered. Right, so you can already kind of get to, so in just a minute here, we already made the video look way better. With a logo, one of the things I love is you can add kind of a professional animation to it. So, maybe I want to kind of slide down or fade in or maybe zoom in. I kind of like this focus one. It kind of looks very professional, right? So cool, I've already just made a few quick changes, and I can hit preview again, and just like before, in a few seconds, we'll already see our work. And if I love the video, I can just produce it, and it will, here we go. So
now there's no sound over it at this point.
Maybe we're not hearing through. There's music. Is the music coming through? Okay, so it's probably not coming through just through the broadcast, but there's music. So one of the things that we actually include, because a lot of folks actually, because since they're kind of on the go, they're not actually listening with watching with sound. But there still are some. We have a whole library of music that we did all the work to license for you. So literally thousands of tracks that you can do whatever you want for your business. So if you want to put these videos on your website, or use them on social media, or put them up on a screen at a trade show, whatever it is you want to do, all this music is commercially licensed. And for those who've had to go through the process of licensing music, you know how expensive it can get and how much time it takes. So we've literally just done all that work for you. And if you look down the left here, we have all sorts of categories, moods. If you want to get into genre, like if you definitely want, say, something hip hop or Hawaiian or new age. If you want it definitely without, vocals, you can just click on instrumentals. And you can just, you probably can't hear it, but.
No, it doesn't come through, but that's cool. Thank you for showing that.
So we have music. And the other cool thing that we actually just announced a few weeks ago is a partnership with Getty Images. So for folks out there that either don't have maybe their own images or video clips, or maybe at least don't have them readily available, or they just want to do something quick like a testimonial video or a quote video, you'll see here that in your media section, here's all the stuff I uploaded. And over here on stock is this nice little thing here. So I could say, I'll say city. Maybe I just want to kind of like add some kind of more urban shots or something just to make it cool. Here's a video clip I'll add over here. Maybe I'll open it with this video clip. 22 seconds is way too long. But I just want a kind of a quick, oh, this is like some guy looking out there. That's kind of weird. But just for the sake of the demo, we'll show you what it is. Is that weird? Just have this guy peering out over everyone. So anyway,
I love
so we
it.
have a video clip, and maybe we want, someone running. I trust everyone here will make better choices than this. But the point here is you can sit here and type whatever you want. So like, say we're doing something for Halloween, hopefully we'll get a whole bunch of stuff from Halloween. So the fact that you can have professional quality images and video clips readily available just in case you want to supplement your video. Or what I like to do, for example, is I'm doing something with like a quote or a stat or a testimonial where it's just a block of text. I can choose something like a waterfall or a lake or something just serene to put in the background, and it just kind of helps my video kind of come to life, right? So here's all sorts of great, cute Halloween stuff. So this whole video obviously doesn't go together, but I'm just showing you kind of what you can do. But it's great that we have this partnership with Getty, again, just to make everything super easy. So literally,
Can I butt in and ask you a question? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say I have a video myself, but it's like a long video and I just want to put a small amount. Do I have to go edit it first somewhere else, or can I drag that into Animoto and trim it like you just did the video?
It will work just like that. So if you upload your video clip, it will show up just like this video clip that I just used here. And you can just drag your video clip in. And if it's 5 minutes, if it's 10, it doesn't matter. You can just open it right up. And just like, we'll click edit here. And just like how we do with all our phones, and it's just a simple kind of, you pick your start point and end point and figure out where you want to go. So here it says it's now 2 seconds, and it works, just like that. So that's great.
I imagine as a podcaster, for example, I could upload our video of this interview. This is very meta. And then just trim it down, and I can add it, like you could add that video in 5 different places, but you can just trim each piece where you want it, right? Oh my God.
So I could like duplicate this block, right? And then maybe just go right in and pick another. So if there's maybe like, hopefully in this interview, there's maybe at least 2 or 3 interesting things I said, right? So you could take interesting thing 1 here, interesting thing here. If you want to intermix it with some other photos or video clips of you. If you want to insert some information that says, whatever, dropping, March 25th or whatever. Oh, 35th, 25th. You could put that right in. And obviously whatever information else you want. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. It's that simple.
So as far as use cases, I mean, there's tons, but I have to say this was like a must-have for podcasters. And I haven't been able to do this yet. And I so appreciate you walking through this, this specific thing, because that's been what I've wanted. I see so many people having these amazing professional videos, and you've just shown specifically how I can not only make a regular marketing video, but I can do a really specific one for episodes and do it in a way, adding different things and making it that professional level quality that the big guys have.
Yeah. And, a few things I'd love to point out is you saw me kind of making this video. So first of all, I love, a lot of folks are like, well, where do I start, right? It looks really easy, but I don't even know where to start. There seems like there's so many possibilities. One thing I love to just suggest is that you start with what already works for you. So in many ways, video is not a whole new type of marketing. It's I think the easiest way to think of it, it's just a way to amplify your existing marketing. So in this example of this Everlane, these are images they already have. They probably print out a catalog that they mail to people. So, but they know this is the stuff that works, that's important. And so you can take what you already have, whether that's images or video clips, or even text and quotes or testimonials you might have on your iTunes page or Yelp page or wherever your business, lives. And you can include that stuff and start there. So you don't need to go out and shoot a bunch of you don't have to go and spend a bunch of money to hire someone to shoot a bunch of fancy stuff. Start with what you already have. And the other thing, if you'll notice, is in a lot of those examples in the storyboard selector, a lot of them are just images of, some of them are just text, some of them are just other images. You don't actually have to be in the video. So I know a lot of folks, they say, yeah, well, I'd love to do video, but I'm just not comfortable being in front of the camera. Well, certainly there are tons of different types of videos that don't require you to be in the video. So that shouldn't be an excuse not to get started. But I would say, that as you get comfortable with making videos, like experiment with inserting yourself, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be, authentic and human. And I think you'll find that it's actually not just easy, it's actually, pretty fun. And as a business owner, as a marketer, what we've seen, one important kind of point to make here is that people are really craving that kind of more authentic and human side of marketing, right? There's just so much information and misinformation out there that whatever you can do to make your videos or your marketing in general more human, people I think are really gravitating towards that. So just a few more tips for how to make sure that your efforts are successful.
Amazing. So, remarketing ad for YouTube. Look how you've got everything in here. Real estate. Can you share a couple more use cases? So like, I know that you had a lawyer who did a video that was very personal and showed him in a different way than most people perceive lawyers, which was amazing. Is that something like you can kind of talk a little bit about how you can use this video on your website in addition to social media, and maybe some other kinds of examples just to get people's heads turned?
Yeah. All right. So I think, like I said, one great place to just brainstorm is think about what already works. So in that spirit, if you think about on your website, what are all the different things that you already talk about or share regularly? So, take for instance, if you have a blog, one thing you could do, I've seen other companies do this. There's a company called Buffer. They're trying to figure out how to get into video, and they're really known for all their great blog content. So they just literally sorted their blog posts by which ones were most popular. They checked the first 3 most popular ones and they started converting those into videos. And they were either recaps of the blog post or they were kind of teasers of the blog post. And they could just take some of the information that was already there and some of the graphs and charts that they use, so they didn't have to like go and shoot anything. And within literally a few minutes, they had some great videos, and they knew that content would already resonate because it's already been proven, right? For folks, if you think about all the different pages of your website, all of those are great pieces of information. So, the lawyer talked about, there might be, if you are a personal individual or a brand, you'll typically have like an about me page, or I guess if you're even any company, you have an about us page. So having some type of about you or about us video is a fantastic way to, like we were just saying, a fantastic way to introduce yourselves in a more, in a human, authentic way, right? So think about all the different pages of your website and what it is that you're already talking about. And I would say here's another fun trick that's almost like many birds with one stone. One of the great operational advantages of video as business, where we are all busy business people, right, and marketers, and so wherever we can save time is great. Think about all the things that you find yourself repeating over and over, like what everything from the highest level of what it is that you offer, whether that's product or service. I'm sure you have to explain it over and over to why you're different or unique from maybe other folks, maybe the story behind how your business got started. Maybe there's some things that you tend to answer over and over email, or
FAQs.
if you're growing your FAQs, or if there's a team that you're building, I'm sure with every new employee you're having to kind of explain certain things. So all those things that you tend to repeat, those are other fantastic candidates for video, because because you're repeating it, people are interested in the information. And how great would it be for you to save time and capture that all in the video? And the great thing about video, right, is it's out in the the digital, it's in the World Wide Web. It takes on a life of its own. So you don't have to be in 200 places around the world. The video can do that for you. People can see the video wherever they want. It doesn't matter whether your store is open or closed, or whether you're awake or not. It doesn't matter where you are. That video can be seen 24/7 around the world. And if it's something that someone might think like, oh, you know what, my friend Nicole might be interested in this. People love to share videos. And so it's just a fantastic efficiency in many ways too, in terms of saving you time, saving you from a lot of repetition. So those are some ideas just to get the brain going about ways that we can start using video. But if you think about all the different ways you need to regularly communicate with your audience, whether that's inspiring, educating, featuring, announcing, inviting, recapping, like all those things that you just do, we should be thinking about how to use video to do that, because people increasingly want their information via video. So we as businesses and marketers need to learn to communicate our message and our content in the way that people want, and that's video.
There was a little microphone on your photos. Can you tell us the different ways of we can add our own voice or content to the audio?
Yes, we are getting into the slightly more advanced but super cool stuff. So I'm glad you're asking about it. Okay, so I'm just going to go back into this video that we were working on, the one that we've come to all love here. So I'm just going to go back in and edit it. And Nicole, the astute, observant one, saw that there's a microphone. So one of the things that we allow you to do is actually record a little bit of voiceover over each video block. And so, for example, if I just click record here, it says click and hold to record. So I just click and hold, and it literally is that simple. So it's recording what I'm saying right now, which makes no sense for the video, and it just will add it right on top. And the cool thing that we've done is that it automatically, if there's music or any audio in the video clip that's behind it, it will automatically mix to perfect balance, all the different levels. So you don't have to even worry about any of that kind of stuff. So I could literally go block by block, and I could say, I could say, introducing our new spring collection, which I love. I worked really, really hard making this dress, whatever it is that people say. And, at the end, what I should do here is, underneath the logo, maybe put the website. So like it's at everlane.com, right? And so when I record something, when we get to the end of the video, I could say, visit us at everlane.com to see our new collection. That was probably the worst voiceover example ever, but at least you kind of get this.
So good. Yeah, that demo is so good because you just answered so many questions and just made it that much better. Are there any other advanced features? We only have a couple minutes left, but are there any other advanced features that you'd like to point out that can just take our new videos as people who are not video people and make them like not just awesome, but like over the top?
Well, there's a whole bunch of fun stuff over here on the left where you can play with filters if you want to make everything black and white, or, just kind of like Instagram-y. We have a whole bunch of video styles. So if you want to kind of change up what some of the transitions and stuff looks like, you can change that. And also, this is an important one. If you want to switch between landscape and square, you can literally do that with a click of a button. And some of the photos might need like a little bit of adjusting, since you're going to square. So I might move these people over just a little bit.
Let me ask you a question about this while we're here. If we have a video that we like and we did it on Square, can we duplicate that video with a click and then do it in the other format?
Yes, and it will just give you the choice between kind of being filling up the screen where you might lose a little bit of the top and bottom, or just having like the extra space on the side. So yeah, you can use whatever type of video clips and any type of video, and it just kind of give you the choice of how it wants to fit.
No, well, what I mean though is once you produce this, right? Once you've already saved it and produced it, is there like where your produced videos are, I guess, on your dashboard or whatever, is there a way to just duplicate a video and make edits to that, like from the shape or, okay, cool.
I see what you mean. So let me just show you in some of my videos, which I have some of my girls here, which I did for the holiday. So here's a video of this, it's just a quote video. So if you see it right here, it says copy, I can hit that and it'll literally make a duplicate of the project. And if I wanted to go in and make that landscape, I could make that. So I could have multiple versions of the same video and just make small tweaks. Or maybe I wanted to test a few different variations of a video, maybe starting with different quotes or different stats. You could just make 5 duplicates of the same video and just tweak that, that thing.
So you can basically create your own storyboard template and then
Yep.
just plug and play. Amazing.
Yep. So for an example, some of the examples you're talking about, if you kind of perfected that end of week recap or end of month recap or that newsletter format or that, teaser for that upcoming episode, you can just duplicate the one that you did last week of Jason, and for the next week with Lauren, open that right up and swap out a few things, change the text, and boom, you're already ready to go. And you've already done the work to make the colors and the fonts and have your logo looks. You might as well just leverage that. So that's a fantastic way just to kind of save a bit of effort.
Hooray! Okay, well, you have just totally changed Nicole Holland's world, and the Nicole Holland shows our team's efforts. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have, for anybody who is like as jazzed as I am, you have a special offer for our listeners and audience. Yeah?
Yes, we're going to do something super special. So if you can remember the secret code, and don't share this with anyone else, this is just for you. It's going to be Nicole. So we can all remember this, right? Nicole, Nicole. And with that, we will hook you up with 10% off an annual plan. So remember that, Nicole, and just for you, Nicole. Can't get much simpler than that. And just for you guys listening, we will hook you guys up.
Thank you so much, Jason. I really, really appreciate it. And
of course,
I love Animoto as a company, as like what you guys do and your culture and who you are and how you operate in life and in business and in all of the things is just so inspirational. And so I'm excited. I love you so much. So you're here for all of it. So folks who are wanting to know more, we've got a personal story interview with Jason Shao that aired a little while back. And we've also got a masterclass coming up. And then of course today. So I hope this was really valuable for everybody and helps you to recognize, is this for me? It's not for me. That's what these resource episodes are all about. If it is for you, be sure to grab their annual plan, and that's at animoto.com, and use the code Nicole to get your 10% off discount. And of course, I'll have this video, everything, all what we talked about in the show notes at thenicolehollandshow.com. So Jason, again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It was really fun.